Hi, a quick video about how I upgraded the used 5x8 utility trailer, which was originally purchased from Lowe's, period. And what my intention is to use this to haul my Yamaha X-Max 300 scooter. So I also got a wheel chock, which I have not yet put on, but I'll hopefully show that as well. The trailer is pretty standard. It has a mesh deck, wire deck. And what I did was I went to Home Depot because I had a credit there, could have been Lowe's or wherever, and got a sheet of outdoor capable kind of plywood, 4x8 sheet. And in the future, I may add extra wood on the sides, but it really doesn't matter because I can still haul mulch and things like that using this trailer. A couple of other add-ons I got to the trailer are the rotating wheel, make it easy to move it around and keep it level. And then I also got a spare tire, which I think is important, and added that add-on. That was about $35, and that was about $20 or $30 or something like that off of Amazon. The first thing I did with the plywood was to buy a can from Walmart of Thompson Water Seal Clear for about $19–20, and used a old roller that I had and just poured the water seal on here and rolled it around. This was before it was installed. I just did it on the grass with a couple of pieces of wood underneath it, and it was very, very simple and straightforward. I probably put 3 coats on either side. I put a coat on, let it dry for a while, flip it, put another coat on, flip it, etc., etc. I also used my circular saw at a 45-degree angle to put a little bit of a ramp on the end of this board, so as I bring things on and off, it wouldn't be hitting a direct, hard 90-degree edge. That was very simple to do as well with a very small little battery circular saw. The next thing I had to figure out was, how am I going to get through these metal plates so the board can do it? And what I found was, from Home Depot, they have a thing called, I think it's Tex, T-E-K-S. They have it only in 2 sizes with the wood to metal style. So I originally got the one in the 7/16 one, and that was not long enough because they measured also with this edge, so it didn't quite grip with the threads. So then when I got the 2.5 or 2¼ inch ones, which work, and I haven't decided if I'm going to cut them off from down below. You need a T25 bit that you can either buy at Home Depot, or I happen to have one at home. And then what I did was, since these were supposed to not grab the wood, it still grabbed the wood and tries to raise it. So I used a drill that was a little bit, bigger than this diameter, and I pre-drilled the wood at all the locations right there. And I went down each of the cross members, so everyone has about 1 foot apart another screw. One thing that happened about 30% of the time was it would start going through the cross member, but then somehow this thing seemed to break off and get stuck, and it can no longer go through. So when I did that, I tried to drill it out in the actual hole that was there. If I go over here, you'll see I had a hole right there, and that's what happened there, but I could not even get my drill bit to drill that tip out. And it could be because I had a pretty old drill bit trying to do it, but not sure. So then I just tried another one of these, and the package that I purchased contained 40 of these, and there was about probably 7 or 8 or 9 left over, so I was able to do the ones that I couldn't do. And I don't know why down at the end here, maybe this metal was harder or something on that cross member, but it happened 2 times on this row, 2 times on this row, but up toward the front, I didn't have much of a problem at all. One thing I'm thinking of doing is actually doing 2 more holes and actually putting bolts through somewhere up here to have a complete, very, very strong connection of the wood to the cross members. As I put my chock in the middle here for my motorcycle, it is going to be these screws that are holding it on, because I'll be basically applying the chock through 4 holes through the wood. Now it will go through the mesh as well, so the mesh is also going to hold it on as well. So there's 2 levels, so I might not really need to do that, but you might want to consider just putting a bolt through here and a bolt through over there, and then you know for sure that nothing's ever going to come up on this. So overall, the project went pretty well, and I will move on to the next phase of adding the chock to it. So the next phase of the project was to put the Condor wheel chock on the trailer, and I will go through what I did right now. So it comes shipped, all compressed. You take the pins out, you put it up, you take the other thing that the wheel sits in, take that off for now. I took off these little wing nuts that you can then keep them in this top thing in your garage, and then on your trailer all you'd have is this. So if you're getting mulch and other stuff, you wouldn't have the whole Condor thing sitting out in the weather or worrying about hitting it with your shovel or pitchfork and things like that. And then what I did was it came with these bars that stay on the trailer in this location and that location. And then what I did was I then analyzed what these mesh things do here, the openings, but I didn't want to drill in through the wood and hit one of these cross members. So I figured out that actually this one that came with it was a good, and then you have, I think, basically 10 inches to here, 10 inches to here, and that coincided pretty closely with the middle of this and then the middle of the next one down. It was off a little bit, but it didn't seem to have any problems. I simply then used a small drill to start the first hole, and I put starter holes in all those areas, and then I used this drill bit to be a little bit larger than the actual bolt size. I looked at it from underneath and made sure that the holes came through at the right locations on here and on this side as well. And then I also went to Home Depot and bought some, I think they're galvanized, larger washers, because I knew it was going to have to spread the gap across the gap of this mesh. So I bought bigger washers that then could go in between, with the washers that they send as well. Then I just use my 14mm socket and just a little wrench here to hold the top, and I tightened them down, and that's pretty much what it is. And then ultimately I'm just going to take this off and leave those plates on the trailer. So it's a pretty straightforward implementation. Hopefully this helped you. It's turning out pretty well. Next project is maybe to get higher performance tires. These actually came with L rating, which can go up to, I think it says 75 miles per hour. So those are pretty good, but they're still from 2020 and it's 6 years later. So it's getting pretty close. I might just upgrade those to either 13-inch rims. These are 12s, or just get an L or M series, which is even higher rated tire for each of the tires, because I do want to take this on long, multi-100-mile trips, and I'd like to be able to drive 70 miles an hour and not have to worry about things. And then the other thing I do need to do is, since I bought this used, is actually re-lubricate the hubs as well, but that's another project for another day. Hopefully this helped. Take care. Here's a video of what it looks like without the chock on there.